If he boxes with him, I think Chris actually has a chance.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? So UFC Fight Night Atlanta just finished, and it was kind of an up and down card. It kind of ended kind of flat, but it was overall a pretty good card, I guess. So I'll be giving my breakdowns of reactions to the key fights of the card and giving my overall thoughts about it. Real quick, before I get into the video, 96% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you like UFC, influencer boxing, or pro boxing content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on this channel at least, so make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you. First fight that I'm going to be talking about, oh man, this was disappointing, I'm not going to lie. And it was kind of, you could see this going the way it was. It was just a little bit of local bias. Chris Moutinho is from Massachusetts, so we obviously wanted him to win. But Wellmaker is an absolute savage. We're obviously talking about Wellmaker versus Moutinho now. Like I said, I don't really know what I expected going into this. This only prelim fight that I'm going to be talking about, but I think Wellmaker is very dangerous, and he's going to be very good in the bantamweight division because he has some serious power. Basically, off rip, we could tell that his power was unreal because he was ripping some kicks that physically affected Chris Moutinho right away.
All right, Chris.
Come on, Chris. Come on.
Take it easy.
He's good. He's good, I'm telling you. He's good, I'm
Holy shit.
He's kicking really fucking hard.
Really hard.
Whenever they got in telephone booth, to be fair, Chris Moutinho was landing some shots and even avoiding some shots from Wellmaker. I felt like at the time, most of the stuff that was causing problems was the kicks, so I said, if this keeps into the boxing range, I think he will do all right, and I may have cursed Chris Moutinho.
Because, like, when he gets kicked, that's when he's really getting affected. If he boxes with him, I think Chris actually has a chance. No. I literally said seconds before, if he boxes with him, he'll be all right. Oh, no, Chris, I'm sorry.
So, an amazing win from Wellmaker. Sean O'Malley wasn't able to put Chris Moutinho out like that, so that means he has some unreal power. He has some unreal speed, too. So, I think they should give him a ranked matchup next. Let me know if you guys agree down below, but obviously, there are better fighters than Chris Moutinho that are unranked, but I think that he's 31 already at 9-0 or 10-0 now. I think it's worth giving him a ranked opponent and pushing him a little bit faster than the rest. I think it's justified. All right, next fight, Alonzo Minfield versus C. I think that's how it's pronounced. I apologize if that's wrong, but I think that's what they were saying on commentary the entire time. So, for the most part, C was trying to keep his distance with the jab for the most part the entire fight. Besides round 2, he was stalling a good amount. But he didn't do it the entire fight, to be fair. It was just kind of a dry fight in general because Minfield was trying to cross the void to land his overhand right, but he wasn't really doing anything to set it up, so he was just winging the overhand right because C was very tall and the overhand was there, but he was doing enough where he could move his feet so he could get out of the way of the overhand. Minfield was just not doing enough to mix up his shots to catch C, and C was just doing way too much landing on the outside with his leg kicks, his jab, and the control time in round 2 ultimately won him the fight. I know that Guru was kind of gassing him up as a prospect, but I'm not very excited by him personally, especially if he's stalling like that for his strategy, but he was just mostly passive in this fight, and it's probably maybe because of the matchup. I won't full-on judge him yet because Minfield is just a freak, and he has crazy powers, so you're just going to want to stay away from him as much as possible. It's just Minfield needed to throw some kicks in there, mix up his strikes just to make himself a little bit more unpredictable because he was really just trying to wing the overhand. But, yes, he won by 2-1 in my opinion. It could have even been 3-0 because Minfield really didn't do too much in this fight, but I guess a good win by C. I don't really care what's next for him. It's obviously going to be a ranked opponent because he's going to be ranked now, but we'll see. Next fight that I'm going to be talking about is Abdul Malik versus Brundage. Now, this fight was fairly passive for the first 2 rounds. Abdul was trying to work at distance with his leg kicks and front kicks and straight punches for the most part. And he caught Brundage with a front kick in round 1 that kind of stunned him, but it didn't seem like he really realized it at the time. And then round 2 was even more patient. It was more so tit for tat. It was more so Abdul Malik kind of trying to keep his distance and not get tagged too often, kind of similar to the other fight. Then in round 3, it completely was different. The crowd was booing the first 2 rounds. And then they just started swinging crazy off rip. Basically just winging hooks with no regard at all. It wasn't even like it was late into round 3. It was basically right when round 3 started. And then it seemed like Abdul Malik, or Malik, I'm sorry, I keep switching in between every single sentence it seems like, but it seems like he catches him with a knee that TKOs him, but it ends up being a legal headbutt, which ends up making him go to the decision, and Abdul Malik wins anyways.
I'll take it now, though.
Oh, we got hit with a knee. Oh, it's over. Wow. Hey, respect for them. Hey, respect, man. They just started swinging at the beginning of round 3. Absolute warriors. Hey, they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do that. Respect. Respect. Wait, illegal? Wait, illegal? What? Oh shit.
For the main event, I'm not gonna lie, I skipped the feature fight and the co-main because they were extremely flat. Rose had a pretty good performance, but it's just too late. It's about to be 2 a.m. before I even edit this video, so forgive me, guys. Especially with how this main event went, man. Oh, God. Can we all agree that we did not miss Kamaru Usman? I'm sorry if that sounds mean, but man. So, rounds 1 and 2, straight Dagestan. 2 or 3 years, forget. That is clearly where Usman has been the last 2 years. He was straight in Dagestan because he was stalling, holding Buckley down the first 2 rounds. Absolutely where legends are made. That's why we watch the sport. Absolutely, Usman, right? Whenever the fight was standing, though, what I was saying in my prediction was accurate. Buckley was very good with his footwork, moving in and out. Usman was just basically plodding forward, trying to catch him. The only time he caught him is when he grabbed him by his legs, and to be fair, he basically got all the takedowns. Obviously, we know Usman is incredible at takedowns. But whenever it was on the feet, Buckley did a lot better as fight went on in rounds 2 or 3, being bladed and unpredictable, and he would blitz in like he usually does. And he would land on Usman, but nothing like flush enough where you hurt Usman. Unfortunately, which sounds crazy, but man, it's just bad for the sport the way that some of these guys fight, man. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be a fun fight, especially with Buckley. And I know grappling is a part of it. I agree with you. I just think you should be prioritizing finishes if you're going to the grounds. And Usman was just trying to get control time, land damage, and he landed some good elbows, to be fair. But he just didn't want to stand with Buckley, which is understandable because the speed difference was on a different level. Buckley had a lot of success blitzing in. He used leg kicks a little bit too late, in my opinion, but he started throwing leg kicks. He was able to blitz in and land combinations on Usman, but once again, it wasn't enough to hurt Usman because there were times where Usman would just walk through and get Buckley down. I think there was only 2 times where Buckley stuffed Usman's takedowns. It was dominant on the ground. And to be fair, in my video I said the only way that Usman wins is making it a boring fight, and god damn it, he listened to me. That's all I'm saying. Buckley was getting held down most of the time. Buckley, at the end of the fight, was probably doing the best that he did because he was the most active. Here's the thing with facing these wrestlers, I feel like you just need to throw caution to the wind, and he was just a little too hesitant in this fight. He was trying to get a flying knee, but he never timed it when Usman was shooting. Buckley's an incredibly fun fighter to watch, man, and this is the first time where I seen him go bladed where he was basically Michael Venom Page. He was bouncing. I think he's very good in that style, and I love that style, so it's very entertaining. But he ultimately didn't hit Usman with anything where he got Usman's respect, where Usman was hesitating to go shoot on him. And Usman had incredible success every time he shot on him. So, yeah, it was totally exciting.
Extremely impressive, especially, he's been out for a while. We're all worried, is he still going to be...
Usman, you're a fucking bitch. Usman, you're a bitch. You're a bitch. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This is why we didn't miss you, bro. We did not miss you in the sport. We could totally see why a Kamzat or something like that just makes Usman worthless, because this is like his entire game plan as an older fighter. As we know, Usman was a lot more clinch oriented and landed more damage back in the day, but now with all the knee surgeries and him slowing down a bit, he's going to do this style, and he's going to be the most boring that he's been in his career. I really don't know what they're going to plan to do with him in welterweight. It was almost like this was a big deal for Buckley, where this is going to put him into the top of the division, where there's going to be a bunch of exciting matchups. But now, instead, we got Kamaru Usman back in the top of the mix, and nobody really cares to see him fight. Or at least I don't. Like, what matchup really makes you excited? What? We're going to do Usman versus Ian Gary now? Great. They need to do Buckley versus Ian Gary regardless. I really hope they do that fight. Like, who else? What? They're going to do Usman versus Shavkat, I guess. I guess so. That's what they're going to do. I really don't care for that fight whatsoever. But, hey, Usman's back, right? Yay. I genuinely didn't miss him. Let me know if you guys miss Usman down below. All right, so that was UFC Fight Night Atlanta. It was a pretty up and down card. The end of the card was definitely flat, which seems pretty consistent nowadays with these cards, because it's almost like the important people in the sport and the people that keep winning do a boring style of the UFC. And it's almost like it's a problem. And there was this whole thing in the God damn it, I gotta go back and remember what fucking fight I'm talking about. I'm sorry, guys, and I'm gonna keep this in because it's 2 a.m. and I apologize for the people that are sticking around. I don't want it to seem like I don't care, but see, in round 2, when I was telling you where he was stalling too much, it seems like the ref was saying, you need to work, you need to do something if you want to stay here. And he wouldn't stand on business, and Jesus, he wouldn't stand on business and separate them. That is a real problem. This is going to be a problem over and over and over again unless they do something about it. But, yeah, man, it was an overall okay card, I guess. It started off very good, and then it kind of just ended up being kind of flat. But it is what it is. I'm sure there'll be better events. UFC 317 is going to be hype. That's a bit of a time away now. And by the way, I have a very good idea for that card. I'm not sure if I would do it, but I'm planning on doing every single time I get a prediction wrong for 317, I'll do a very spicy chip pepper or something like that. So just letting you guys know, I think that'll be a very fun and interesting video to switch things up on this channel. Forfeit based type stuff, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's all I had to say about this card. Usman's a bitch, and we didn't miss him. And yeah, if you guys want to follow any of my socials, that'll be in the description down below. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that. I'm still a small channel trying to grow, so you're genuinely making a difference every single thing you do on this video. I appreciate you. I'm exhausted, man. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. God bless every single one of you. And peace out.